Imagine if you could invest $100 and get a 2,000% return. Or what if you could spend $100 and get $268 back into your pocket? And that's the purpose of this video, to help you visualize the opportunity of endless potential. What's going on, folks? My name's Chris Furlong. I've been reselling for about a year and a half now, and over the last year and a half, I've learned quite a lot about business, about cash flow, and just some amazing perspectives of how you can turn some money into some great return on investment. And that's what I want to help you with today, to help you see a little further that you can take $100 and turn it into a 100x return. Maybe you want to go on a holiday this year, maybe you've got some debts to pay off, or maybe you just want a little bit extra pocket money. Well, with this process and these scenarios that I'm going to take you through, you will be able to see the potential that you can do also. One thing I will say though, of course, intention is useless without action. So we might go through all these different scenarios and you can see the possibilities, and I can share the possibilities of what you can do, but unless you take action, nothing will change. All right, so this is a little tool that I use to basically assess potential return on investment, or when I go out to make a big purchase for my business. It basically just helps me see the profitability of this purchase and how much money I can potentially generate in terms of cash flow and also make in terms of profit. We're going to use this as a way to basically go through a set of scenarios which, look, some of these, there's so many factors to go into play, and we're going to use a few different variables here, but you need to consider that, this is a perfect world scenario, and you need to take this and leverage what you learn from it to then see how you can apply it in your own manner. That is the whole purpose of this, to give you the understanding and the knowledge to now go do this for yourself. And like I said, it's not always going to be a perfect world scenario. There'll be so many different variables, and we'll talk about that as we go. So let's say you have $100 that you want to spend and actually grow into a nice return on investment. Meaning, let's say you want to grow it into $2,000. Well, we're going to start off with $100. You've got $100 to purchase some items. And in this case, we're going to take $100 and we're going to go out and we're going to purchase 100 books. Now you're thinking, where do I get 100 books for $1 each? Well, you can get them from op shops, thrift shops, garage sales. You can get them from Facebook Marketplace. I don't care where you get them from. And in this case, it's books. You're going to have to get creative, use your imagination. But the idea is you're going to spend $100 and you're going to purchase 100 books. And we're going to sell them all for $20 each. Meaning the idea is you're going to jump onto eBay or you're going to jump onto Facebook Marketplace and resell them for $20 each, which means you'll generate around $2,000 in actual revenue, in cash flow. Now, one thing we have to consider is expenses, fees. Every time you sell on eBay, there's about a 15% fee that you will have to pay. So we account for this. There's no per item costs at this point. We'll just assume that there's no additional costs to the items that you're selling. But when you send these items, it's going to cost you about $9.30 on average per book that you send. So all in all, that's going to be around $930 or $9.30 per item. So your total costs are around $1,330. But after, let's assume you sold them all today, you listed them and sold them all today, you'd make $670 profit back into your pocket. So a 2,000% return. And that's basically $6.70 back into your pocket per book or per item. So this seems great. This is, a really good example. However, it seems too good to be true. So we need to bring in some variables and some factors to consider. We have a time factor, how many days to get an average sale or the average sale time, and then a sell-through rate. How many are we actually selling during that period? What percentage of those goods? So we're going to assume that it's going to take on average 45 days for them to sell. Now, if you list them all on one day, let's assume that it's going to take 45 days for them to start to sell, right? But there's also a sell-through rate. Maybe some of them are priced too high, or maybe they're not really in demand. So let's assume you only sell 40% in that 45 days. Of course, you can continue to sell them after this as well. So let's say you get 40 items that have sold in that period, which means you're going to generate around $800 in cash flow, or $268 in profit, which is not too bad. That's a 268% return on investment. In your pocket, not cash flow, profit. To do all this, let's assume it's going to take you 112 days to sell them all, which means you could probably do this 3 times a year, meaning you could take $100 every 112 days and see what you can do with it. You're going to generate $2,400. You're going to generate $2,400 back into your pocket. But this is not really what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is, what if you actually reinvest those profits back into this business or back into this to continue to compound and double your money and grow your money. So let's assume that you take the $100 and you've gotten $268 profit back into your pocket, you're then going to do it again. You're going to take the $268 and you're going to buy another 268 books, go through the same process. This time you'll come out with 718, not including all the ones that you haven't sold yet. And then you continue to do this. You do it the third time, you do it a fourth time, you do it a fifth time, and you've generated $13,825 in profit. And that means you can go on a nice family holiday, you can pay down some debt, or you can go buy a new car. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. But this is the whole idea of this, is to help you understand the possibilities and the potential. Now, you might think this is still too good to be true. That may be the case. So you need to play with that. You need to think about it. How can I do this a smarter way or a different way, or take in consideration of all the factors? We're going to do another scenario to help you see, once again, the potential. Okay, this time we're going to do it again, but we're going to take into consideration, maybe we're going to do it with DVDs, because this time you can usually get a bit more for your bang for buck, meaning you could spend $100 and you might be able to pick up about 250 DVDs. This is a Facebook marketplace or a garage sale, which means your average cost of good for these items is about 40 cents. Now you're going to sell these for about $9.97 each. On eBay, on Facebook Marketplace, wherever. And of course, it depends on quality and all that jazz. You just got to play it out, right? Of course, you got to do your due diligence, but let's assume you can get $9.97 per sale, right? That's almost $2,500 in cash flow generation. After fees, which we went through, maybe there's a bit of an expense per item. You've got to purchase a sleeve to cover them and protect them. I don't know, but postage is only $2.20, maybe. If you're sending it as a letter untracked, I've got a video on this as well. Your total cost comes to $1,273. Your profit, though, comes to $1,218. You're going to get a return on investment being 2,493%, or $4.87 back into your pocket. And this is a bit give or take. It's a bit wishy-washy. Sometimes it'll be a little higher, sometimes it'll be a little lower. But let's assume that this is where you land. Once again, taking in a time factor. Maybe they take a bit longer to sell. Maybe they're going to take 45, maybe they're going to take 60. In this case, we'll use 45 days. Again, we'll do a sell-through rate of 30%. Only 30% of the ones that you purchase sell, which means you're going to sell 75 items and you're going to get an estimated cash flow of $747 within that 45 day, which is another $365 of profit back into your pocket. Now, to sell them all, it's going to take 150 days. You could do this 2 times a year with $100 and you'll come out with $1,495 of cash flow. Not profit, cash flow. But once again, taking the whole understanding of what if you can actually take the profits and compound this? Well, once again, starting at $100, you get a $365 profit. Then you continue it down. And as you can see, after doing it 5 times, you could have generated $18,000 plus in profit. And once again, you can buy something else. You can pay off some debt. You can go on a holiday. This is the power and potential of it. And that is the whole purpose of this, as I said before, to help you see the possibilities, the potential, and what maybe you can take from this and apply it with your own manner. Maybe you've got something at home. Maybe you don't even have to pay for anything, and you could just start to build a bit of a piggy bank to then go out and start this process. You'll be surprised what sells. Go check it out. So there you go. And the whole purpose of this video, as I explained at the start, was to help you see that there is so much opportunity out there. Now, of course, there are a lot of variables and a lot of things that we need to take into considerations, such as factors and timing and sell-through rates and the actual item that you're selling. Of course, you're probably thinking this is all good in saying, but you still need the items. Of course, you need to do the work. You need to find what those items are. And there's lots of different things you can consider. We spoke about books, we spoke about DVDs, but you might have some things at home that maybe you could get the ball rolling to reinvest this money, to reinvest that money back into that business and actually multiply and compound your money. Of course, I could say go buy this, but you still have to find multiples of that item. We're talking a bit broader here because this is left up to you and your imagination, and the possibilities are endless. So go out there, take what you've learned, apply it with what you know, and see how far you can go. Let me know down in the comments what you thought of this, or let me know down in the comments how much money you've made, or let me know down in the comments your thoughts, questions, concerns, comments, whatever it may be. Really do appreciate you being here. You have a wonderful day. Cheers.